Good evening, sir. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. And you?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I've got several of the books, and the interesting thing is, one of the most powerful theme was creating mutually beneficial relationships with people, not just going into their life to see what you can take, but what you can give. And applying that in so many arenas I've seen a big jump in my business. I literally calculated how much money I made from being sincerely intentional, and it's in the thousands because I've went in intentionally. And sometimes the fruits they don't come back immediately, but a year later. And I've started to map the journey of when I started that mutually beneficial relationship and how it's opened up so much. So that's definitely something I've learned, not just from reading the books, but watching yourself do what you do as well. So what's great about the books is the fact that I can see the book in you and you in the book. So there's a great level of authenticity from the content.
Wow, thank you very much. And that means a lot to me because again, there's a lot that goes into writing books mentally, emotionally, and then the team that puts it together as well. And it's always important to get feedback. I think in our part of the world, we don't like feedback, and people don't also like giving feedback. And it's important to know you can't just keep doing something over and over again and you're not asking the recipient, how exactly is this, adding value to you? What exactly is it doing to you? For me, that is a very, very critical aspect of whatever I do. So thank you for sharing. This means a lot. I have Joe. Joe, how are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay, so
Okay.
so which of the book did you read and what was it for you?
Yeah, I read Billionaire Habits, and what stood out for me was the formula for success that you shared, which is hard work plus smart work plus network equals success. And I saw that you emphasized the aspect of network a lot, like more like the bridging gap towards hard work or smart work. Network will put you at far much more points in life, in success, than just hard work and smart work. So, and I've also learned from several of your trainings and physical classes that to build network, the most important aspect is honor, using honor to build trust and network. So that has been what I've been applying, and I've seen considerable progress as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. This means a lot. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jessica, uh, let's have you.
All right. Good evening, sir, and good to have
You
me
need to
here,
put
sir.
on your video. You need to put on your video.
Ah,
You can't be sure.
okay.
People are watching globally now. And then what were you thinking?
Okay, the
Yeah.
lens is not too bright. All right, so you talked about investing in knowledge, like one has to invest in knowledge rather than just
Which book actually?
billionaire habits.
Okay.
Yeah. You talk about investing in knowledge and you talk about time management instead of watching TV and taking time to do those things that does not add value. One had rather invest in knowledge and use the time very well. Then what I did while reading this book, I found out, or I decided to give it to someone that I've been collecting from, like someone that has been there for me. Like, okay, if most time, even without asking, he would just say, like Christmas period now, he gives and all that. So I feel okay, instead of just collecting, let me be the one to give this time. So I decided to buy this book and I gifted him as a gift because you talked about giving out sometimes not until you have all the money before you give out. So I gave him as a gift. And he was like, oh, they've given you this from your company to come and give me. I said, no, I actually bought it for you to read. That if you know how much I bought it, so he collected it, and I've been telling him to come and buy land since he was like he's paying his mortgage. But when he read this book, he didn't take up to like 3 to 4 days. He just told me that he's ready for the land now. So I was wondering, what did you add to the book? What was that scene that you wrote there that made him, decide to take that step? So I found out you talked about passive income much later when I was reading it. And I think it's part of why he decided to take that step to buy. And he actually bought 6 plots, and I was glad he did that.
Wow. Okay, I'm happy to hear any bearing whatsoever. But when it then comes to conversations that will change our lives, unfortunately, we're laid back. So please, this is not one of them. Why did I write this book? I realized that the knowledge about building wealth when it comes to real estate is still not mainstream. Okay? People still don't understand how real estate wealth works till today. Right? How do they really build wealth? People still don't know till this moment. How do you strategize for wealth creation? People still don't know. How do you invest, for yourself? People still don't know. And hear me, this is about investment. This is not even how to be an agent. I'm shocked at how when I meet Nigerians, for example, here in Houston area, most Nigerians are property agents. But guess what? Most Nigerians are not property investors. Did you see the irony there? Let me say that again. Most Nigerians are property agents. Most Nigerians are not real estate investors. Two different things. As an agent, the maximum returns I will get for selling a property is 3% in the US, right? In other parts of the world, 10%. And I get the money, I spend it, I pay my house rent, I take care of my children, I buy a car. The money is gone. It's gone. But guess what? Most Africans, people of color, do not know about how to invest in real estate. The knowledge about real estate investment is rare. People can be an agent, and right away, I'm coming up with a new book on how to be a global real estate agent and broker. Okay, and we should be launching it in hopefully in another 30 days. But I realize that most of us haven't invested in understanding how to actually own the asset itself, how to be the owner, the right way to buy, the right way to sell, the strategy of raising funds when you're doing real estate. Are you aware that becoming a big real estate investor has nothing to do with how rich you are? If you're aware type, I'm aware. If you're not aware type, I'm not aware. Particularly in the US, it's a lot more difficult in Nigeria and Africa. People don't know it's a lot more difficult to grow your real estate business in Africa than it is in the Western world. A lot more difficult. It's a lot easier. Okay? And it doesn't have to be your money in the Western world. No, for the starter, 70% of the money doesn't need to be yours to start with. That's even if you are not a green card holder, a resident, if you don't have Social Security, you will still get 70% mortgage. Now, hear this. If you are a green card holder, you have Social Security, you actually don't even need up to 30%. You can get investors to invest 85%, and you are just looking for 15%. And even the remaining 15%, how to raise that part is also part of what we have worked hard on helping people achieve. How many of you think this makes a lot of sense? Now, even outside of the US now, the UK, Canada is similar as well. There's mortgage system. But even in Africa, there are ways you go about negotiation when you're doing real estate deals that also help you to leverage on what we call OPM. Okay, can anybody type the meaning of OPM? What does OPM mean? If you know the meaning of OPM, can you just type what it means? OPM, other people's money. Okay, that's what it means, other people's money, OPM. And so even in Africa, where you don't even have all of that, it's important for you to know that you can still leverage on OPM to grow your wealth in those parts of the world as well. I see how people reach out to me nowadays, knowing that we're doing a $200 million real estate expansion in the US. And the mindset of most people is that this guy, he don't blow. He has so much money. And they have no idea that I don't have money. Every money has gone into the deal. And I'm people raising money, right? But unfortunately, because people don't understand that wealth is actually grown with other people's money by convincing people to say, I have a deal here. There's money to be made, right? And people and let everybody just get in on it and make sure you have something in it for everyone who invest. That's how wealth is created. But people always think that you are super rich because, again, we don't understand the power of OPM. We don't understand the power of other people's money, right? So the assumption you are very wealthy. And this is what people like, even what's it called? Dangote know better. This is what Donald Trump knows better. This is what Elon Musk know better. Okay? People, for example, assume Elon Musk is as rich as he is because of his own money. No, that's why he's in the capital market. That's why he's raising funds. Okay? Constantly raising funds. That's why when he had to buy Twitter, he's still, Mr. Barry, I don't know how the flyer will be. I don't have the slide. So you're telling me it's not there. I don't even have it. I'm in the group. They haven't posted the new uh um they haven't posted the new stuff, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So it's important to know that you know, because our mindset as a people is before I do anything, it has to be cash. I must have the cash. And that's why we're not able to invest in real estate assets. So I'll give you a brief on some of the things we discussed in the book and how, knowing this can go a long way in making a difference. We took our time to talk about the cash flow quadrant. I'm not even going to talk about it today, as many of you know that and that was very, very important. This is deep dive. I'm not going to go into that. So let's first of all review the Global Real Estate Investment Masterclass. So this today we're doing is a virtual launch. It's not a physical launch. I will soon share with you the flyer of the physical launch. We're going to be doing a physical launch that will, show in Lagos. We're doing a physical launch in Abuja, and we're doing a physical launch in Houston, Texas here. But in the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook, it's a handbook to just give you a guide. What is the book about? It's a guide for investors to navigate complexity of international real estate market, covering market analysis, investment strategy, legal framework, right? Author's purpose to empower readers knowledge for the purpose of global investment. So here in this book, we looked at all market, African market, Asian market, Europe, and that's United Kingdom. We look at the United States as well. So this is global, right, in its structure. So understanding global market, overview of major real estate region, investment strategy, risk management, portfolio diversification, legal and regulatory insights. Because a lot of time we're doing real estate and we don't even consider the regulatory insights. I remember meeting a woman who had real estate asset here in the US. She had four income generating property before 2008 crisis, and she lost everything. And I remember asking her, I said, what knowledge did you have about, investing in real estate beyond just the acquisition, as at the time you were buying? And I realized that this woman bought for property just based on the fact that, she could do the mortgage without even understanding the deeper perspective to it. Because most of those who understand the deeper perspective to real estate, the 2008 crisis only made them bigger because they knew the market was still going to bounce back. They understood the cycle and how things work, and they were still able to bounce back way, way bigger. And that's really what we're talking about here. Now, structure of the real estate book. Part one, fundamental of real estate investment. Part two, regional market analysis. We look at Americas, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Africa. Then part three, case studies of successful investments. Part four, future trends of global real estate. So we looked at it in that detail. Strengths, comprehension, and well-researched. Real lifestyle cases to enhance practical understanding. Focus on both developed and emerging market. Clear and accessible language for all audience. So it's not ambiguous and something complex. Now, key takeaway from the book: importance of due diligence in international market, diversification, reducing risk in volatile global market, staying informed on global economic trend is very crucial, right? So on this recommendation, real estate investors, financial advisors, market analysts, entrepreneurs exploring global property market. These are the people this book is for. Skill level, intermediate to advanced. So meaning even if you are new, you can still read this book and get some level of detail. So final thoughts, a must read for everyone serious about global real estate investment. Combined theory and practical, effectively. Combine theory and practice effectively. Okay, so that's that about the book. Read the book to elevate your investment strategy. Okay, so I'm going to stop here about the global real estate, investment handbook, and I'm going to take a few questions before I go to the second book. And so I've just given you an overview about what we shared in the book. Of course, you didn't expect me to teach you what's in the book. I hope you didn't. Okay. The virtual launch is to kind of give you an idea of what the book is about. And the good news is that everyone here will get a copy today. I don't know if you're happy to know. All of you will get a virtual copy of this book today. Everyone. The physical copy isn't out yet, but the virtual copy is out, and you all will go home with a copy. Everybody. And our goal is not just us, our goal is 1 million downloads of the book. And I'll tell you, and I want every single one who is here today to be the tool for what we're trying to achieve. So I'll give you what is in my mind, why we wanted 1 million download. So I'm using all the proceeds, particularly the soft copy, and I'll tell you why. The soft copy it doesn't come at a cost to us. By the time we start selling the physical copy, there's a cost implication, right? But the soft copy, we don't have any cost of printing, cost of logistics, right? We don't have all of that. So what we decided to do was, imagine we want to launch, we're working on a food bank, a food bank in Houston and in Lagos, Nigeria. What is a food bank? It's a place people can go to and they will be able to get food without paying a dime. Hungry families, widows, orphans, you come to the food bank, you will get food. You don't need to drop a dime. And I was praying to God as I was approaching 40 years of age, what will you have me give? Again, my conversation with God, unlike many people, is not what I want from God, is what does God want from me? And this was what God placed in my heart, to set up a food bank. And so, of course, I had to ask, how do I raise the funds? I mean, setting up a food bank in 2 years alone, if we own the property, we're looking at between $5 to $10 million, guys. Between $5 to $10 million. It's not easy, and you constantly run it. And the idea is that in 50 years from today, we will have fed over 1 billion people. Come on, everybody type 1 billion people globally. We will have eaten from the food bank. We're starting with Lagos and Houston. Who knows? We can go beyond that, to end hunger. You will be shocked that even in America, 1 out of every 5 children, okay, is starving of food, is starving of hunger, is having an hunger issue in America. 1 out of 5 children in America. So when people heard Houston, some people are like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "You have no idea that because there's still distribution problem, there's high income inequality, and food is still a basic issue globally." But what was in my heart is we can start, if we can raise $2 million, we can get started in both locations. Dedicate $1 million to Lagos, dedicate $1 million to Houston. We can start, even if it means we're renting the location or we're doing what we call lease to own, right? So the goal is that anybody who makes a minimum donation of $2, you can do 10, you can do 20, you can do 50, you can do whatever amount, right? We'll get a free copy of the book today. So we've calculated if we do $2 times 1 million download of the book, right? That gives us $2 million, right? So that was the idea. And that's why we want every one of you today, not just to download your copy, but to send the link of this Zoom meeting to every WhatsApp group, every Facebook group, everywhere you belong, to say, Dr. Stephen has 2 of his books, and can we create a WhatsApp group, please? And by the way, I want to ask, how many of you want to join the volunteer team to make this a reality? That is, you will do your best to push this agenda till the day we launch the food bank, right? And you will be able to say, God, I thank you for playing a role, right? How many of you want to volunteer to make this? And that's why I said we didn't overhype this event, because I knew I was looking for people who are believers, right? People who are going to look beyond now, people who are going to work with me long term. We're going to post a WhatsApp group now. We'll give you the flyer of the book. We'll give you the link of the book. We'll give you the link of this video as well. Mr. Barry, I need to get John up now. As soon as we're done with this presentation, you should cut this video, just the presentation itself, upload it on YouTube and put the link in the WhatsApp group. I also have we'll have a summary version as well, and we hit the ground running. So please create a WhatsApp group and post the link so we all can join. But that's the vision. That's what God laid in my heart that we should do. Do a food bank and just give back. So I said to myself, what do I have? Everybody wants to learn how to do real estate. Everybody wants to be as rich as I am. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give everything. I'm not hiding everything. In fact, the content of the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook, hear this, is the content we use for our $1,500 real estate training. If I had to shut down, we're no longer doing real estate investment masterclass in Nigeria because of this. We turn it to a book, right? So meaning for 5,000 naira, you can get something that the physical class, I think is 300,000 we charge in Nigeria, and it's 1,500 we charge in UK and US for the class. And like, I just will give it, right? How we raise funds. the various types of real estate you can do, what to look out for, how to structure yourself for it, how to start your own real estate business. How many of you are happy about this? Everything was shared in the Global Real Estate Handbook. Like, it's nothing I know about real estate that I hid from that. Okay, and plus research, plus, data, there's so much data that we added to the book. So much data, so much data. So if you have this book, you literally can land yourself in Canada and start your real estate business. You can land in London with this book if you read everything in it and start your real estate business, because we covered every single aspect. So for me, it's a case of give what you have, okay, and let's have some people donate, and then we can really make this. And it's part of what I shared in the Billionaire Habit book, isn't it? Win-win. Once you can create a win-win situation, we can always have a very successful one. Also, I will be needing a president of this movement, okay? This food bank. We will vote in the WhatsApp group, okay, for the chairman of the committee. How many of you are happy to hear this? We'll vote. So, I'm waiting for them to drop the link of the WhatsApp group. You can nominate yourself, put your CV, tell us the ideas you want to go about, making sure we raise at least the first $2 million in the next 90 days for this food bank so that we can start procurement, location we need, and all of that. Strategy to make sure we get 1 million people to download the book, okay, and so on and so forth. So, and I promise whoever emerge as the chairman of the committee and achieves the goal has a lifetime mentorship with me. Lifetime. Okay? A lifetime mentorship with me. In fact, because this is a very important project for me. It's my 40th birthday project. And like I said, it also has that sentimental feeling of I had God. And I don't know if you have heard me, a lot of Christians always brag, I had God. God told me, God told me. You will never hear that from me. Okay, for people who have known me for 10 years, this is probably the first time they will hear me say, God told me something. I don't do, and it doesn't mean I don't hear God. It doesn't mean God, but I don't just use the word, because I think people like to blackmail people with God told me, God, because once they say God told me, then what we mortal, can we tell you otherwise? Even my mentees, I always tell them, if you are coming to me for advice, don't use God told me, because once you say God, my advice is not needed anymore, because who am I to cancel you against what God told you, right? So I don't always use the word God told me, God said, God, no. But this one, I can assure, and God will not tell you, and I believe most of us agree with me, that God does not counsel you to give. I mean, Satan does not counsel you to give. Do you agree with me? Satan will not advise you to give to change the life of poor people, to provide food globally. Who agrees with me? Satan doesn't give such advice. Okay, so I can boldly say God told me, because I know there are certain things you know Satan won't tell you. Okay, Satan will not tell you go and change life of people, feed 1 billion people in the next 50 years, and things like that. So I'm super excited about this. So the second book is the ABC of real estate investment in America. So the first one is global, while the second one is specifically tailored to America. So I started getting friends reaching out to me after we started our $200 million expansion in the US. In fact, somebody sent me a message. His message read, "Does we attend same church? We do the same business." That's his message. I'm even probably older than you. how come you are this successful? That's the person's question. So I sense a bit of jealousy in that, and I've gotten vibes like that from a few quarters. And I've decided, you know what? There's nothing, I will put it in plain sight. A white man has insulted us. If you want to hide a thing from a black man, put it in a book. I will put it in a book. Whoever can read it. Every step of what we are doing in America, how we're doing it, even with images of what we are doing. Okay, Yatunko. With price to guide and explain. Everything we put in a book. Since a lot of people want, in exchange, donate towards the food bank that we are starting. Okay, and so and that is very, very important to me. So it's called the ABC of America Real Estate Investment, a beginner's guide to real estate success in the US. Okay, and this is for a layman. You want to start real estate in the US, whether you're in UK, you're in Canada, or you're anywhere else. By the way, please, this work for the entire North America. We just decided to put America. So in other words, these same things in the book will work for you if you're in Canada, if you're in Mexico, and and all this, North America, right? We just didn't want to complicate it with North America, just ABC of America's real estate investment. So what is the book about? A foundational guide for individuals looking to understand and succeed in the US real estate market. Then what's the purpose? Simplifies real estate concept for beginners, offer practical tool for first-time investors. Okay, practical tool for first-time investors. Why this book? Focus on US market, one of the most dynamic in the world. Are you aware the US real estate market is the largest in the world? If you're aware, type I'm aware. If you're not aware, type I'm not aware. Come on, talk to me. Are you aware the US real estate market is the largest in the world? We're talking over 4 trillion, way over, right? Is the largest. So if you can understand how the US real estate market works, you understand how real estate should work anywhere else in the world, right? Even if you're not planning to do real estate in the US, it's good to understand the US market. I had to go to Harvard University for 2 years to study real estate investment in the US. Okay, because if once you get the blueprint for US, you can do it anywhere else. You can sort anything out. So practical advice for navigating the unique legal and financial landscape, tailored for both local and international investors. Right. So the book is good for those here in the US already, or those who are international and are trying to look at how do I invest in the US. I see people every day telling me, Stephen, I want to invest in the US, but I don't know how. I don't live in the US, but I want to invest. Can I even invest if I'm not a US resident? Some people don't know. Yes, the answer is yes, you can invest. You don't need to be a US citizen to invest in the US, right? So key theme, number one, foundational concept, real estate basics, property type, financing market trends. Number two, investment strategies, long-term and short-term investment. Number three, navigating the US market, legal, tax, regulatory considerations. Number four, building wealth through real estate, rental income, flipping properties, and equity growth, right? So we went in depth from tax to regulation and other considerations. We looked at real wealth, looking at rental income. We looked at flipping. We looked at equity. We looked at raising funds through equity syndication and debt syndication. So how do you raise funds, right? So you need 15%. I'm raising about $60 million, and I'm raising 200 million. I've got institutional investors who are going to give us the 140 million. So I'm only raising 60 million of that money, of that 200 million. right? So how do you structure to start raising such? And I'll share with you later today how some of you can. By the way, how many of you are interested? Let me even ask before I continue. In being part of you've heard about our current $200 million US expansion. How many of you have heard of it? Okay. Jumoke says, aside donating today, can we donate after today to the project? Yes, you can. You can. Even after today, you can still donate towards, I mean, it's a continuous, food bank is continuous. We keep relying on donations for the food we'll be providing in those locations. So even if after we open it up, we open the food bank up and we start giving out food, we will constantly rely. That's why we needed to build a team around it. We'll constantly rely on money to buy food to give people, right? So it's going to be heavily intensive. Okay, so how many of you have heard about our current $200 million expansion in the US? If you have heard of it, please type I've heard of it. If you have not, just type I've not heard of it. I just want to even know whether some of you are aware of our $200 million expansion in the real estate market in the US. I'm not talking about what we do in Dubai or Nigeria, just US alone. Okay, so I can see some of you are aware, some of you are not aware. Wow, some people are not aware, funny enough. Okay, my next question is, how many of you would like to invest in our US project? How many of you would like to put your money into it? Right, it's a minimum of $10,000. And I think, in fact, Monday is the last day for some of the bonuses we've given, some incentives we're giving, and all of that. Monday is the last day. But how many of you are interested in investing in what we're doing in the US? You want to put your money into the $200 million expansion we're doing in the US. How many of you would like to be part of it? Just type me, 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 me. Okay, let me see. How many of you would like to be part of that? Oh, okay. I can see Mohammed Sani from Cameroon. How are you? Okay, so I can see a lot of you are interested. Okay, will remind me in case I forget once I'm done to talk to you more about it, about what we're doing in the US, how many of you can be part of it. Monday is the last day for some of the amazing bonuses we're giving. The minimum requirement is 20,000. We reduce it to 10,000. We're giving some bonuses beyond what is on the timetable, and it ends on Monday. So I'll share more about that. Afolabi says, I'm interested, but I just got a job in Angola, but lives in Nigeria. That doesn't affect investing in US, right? Most of our investors, you will be shocked, they're in Canada, they're in UK, they're in Nigeria, right? So you don't need to be in the US to be able to invest in the US. And wherever you are in the world, we've structured so that will give you a return back to you. So everyone can invest from anywhere in the world. So back to the book, ABC of American Real Estate Investment. So what is the structure of the book? Part 1, understanding real estate basics. Right, it's always good to understand the basics of real estate, how it works. What are the basic fundamentals? I love fundamentals. Part 2 of the book explore US property types: residential, commercial, and industrial. Okay. A lot of time people just think residential is only real estate. Meanwhile, there are more juicy opportunities in commercial and industrial real estate than residential. Every time we all just talk residential, residential, residential. There's so much opportunity in commercial and industrial. Part 3, building a successful investment plan, right? Like I said, we have to sit down. So, okay, these projects we're trying to do for phase 1, by the way, we're doing over $1 billion expansion in the US. But we said phase 1, let's do 200 million, phase 1. Okay, how do we raise the money for phase 1? How do we give everybody their money back? What is the structure that guarantees we will make the money back and we'll be able to give everybody we invest? All that we needed to plan. So in the book, in part 3, we're giving you the blueprint of how you plan, how you plan a real estate investment in the US. How do you plan How do you pay your investors? How do you raise money? And then part 4, case studies and success stories, right? Testimonies are powerful. When you hear others who have done it, their background, and how they've been able to really achieve something for themselves, it encourages you to know that you can do the same for yourself, right? You can replicate the same thing for yourself. How many of you think this is a good book? Okay, come on, talk to me. If you think it's a good book from what you're hearing, type this is good. The structure of the book. How many of you like the structure? Part 1, understanding the basics. We went just basic of investing in the US. Part 2, we focus on the property types. Part 3, we focus on the funding, but bottom line, funding and making sure everybody is paid at the end of the day. Part 4, we looked at case studies of those who've done it, have made money, and so you're encouraged. Okay, I can see a lot of you like it. Okay, so what's the strength of the book? Easy to understand language for beginners, comprehensive coverage of US real estate dynamics, practical example and checklist for actionable steps, focus on wealth building strategies. Are you glad? Good news. Are you glad that all this book also have a workbook? Am I correct, Mr. Barry? Mr. Barry, is Mr. Barry there? Or his network is frozen? Right. Mr. Barry, are you there? You need to unmute yourself. Okay, any member of the team, please confirm. We have a workbook for this. So what that means is that we structure the book in a way that you can work your way in the book almost like you are studying, for an exam. It's structured with a workbook that kind of help to even strengthen the understanding as you go through the book. Okay, can somebody help me get Mr. Barry to confirm that the workbook is ready? So I'm super excited about that. I think this is the first time we're having a book that has a workbook, right? So you're reading the book, but you're also having, like a quiz around it that tags you and help you to remember. Mr. Barry, welcome back. Can you confirm that the workbook is ready for each of the book? Can you confirm that? Okay. Any member of the team, can they just chat Mr. Barry? Don't know what's wrong with his network. You can type your answer. I'm not sure I can hear. So key takeaway, understanding market cycle.
Yeah, the workbook was.
Yeah, okay, I'll get the answer. Understanding market cycle is crucial for timely investment. Okay, or crucial for timing investments. Location is a key determinant of property value. Leverage and financing can amplify returns, but requires careful management. Real estate is a long-term wealth building tool. So these are some of the key takeaways. Number one, understanding market dynamics, and timing, location, leverage. Leverage is key in real estate, ladies and gentlemen, and also understanding the long-term nature of real estate investment. So all that. So the audience, first-time real estate investors, individual exploring the US market, investors who want to invest in US real estate market. Final thoughts, a valuable source for anyone stepping into the US real estate market. This is a must. Read the ABC of America's real estate investment to kickstart your real estate journey today. Okay, are we happy about this? Mr. Barry, are you back?
Yes, okay. Sorry, I had network Yes, so the workbook and practice questions are all embedded in the main book.
Beautiful.
So
For
as they read, they do practice questions. They also do feedback on each of the chapters.
Wow, beautiful. Come on, guys, can we clap about this? Are we really, really excited about this? So this is really good. This is really, really good. So the good news is like I said, every proceed from this book, particularly the soft copy. Why am I saying particularly the soft copy? For the hard copy, we have to remove cost of printing the book, cost of logistics. For the soft copy, all proceed goes towards food bank in Lagos, Nigeria, and in Houston. If you're excited, come on, clap, everybody. Let me clap if you're excited about this. So what we've done is to automate the process. What we've done is to automate the process. Once you visit pay.gtesglobal.com/SAFFD, okay, pay.gtesglobal.com/F. By the way, why are you using GTES Global? Why not Stimactia Foundation? Mr. Barry, these are things you should have taken note of.
Okay, sir. Well, we can correct that, sir.
Okay, but for today, pay.gtesglobal.com/SA Foundation. That the SA stands for Stimactia Foundation, so SAFFD. And I would love if they can, re-edit this. Stimactiafoundation.com/Mercy, right? Mercy book.
Okay.
Mercy books. Okay, yeah. Stimactiafoundation.com/Mercy books. So people know that, or Mercy Food Bank, yes. Stimactiafoundation.com/Mercy Food Bank. I think that's a better way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That will be done and adjusted and sent to the platform.
Good. Have we posted the link to the platform now?
Yes, I've told my team to do that and post it now. Let me just confirm that it's done.
Everybody, I want you to confirm, have you gotten the link to the WhatsApp group now? The WhatsApp group. No. Somebody's posting the wrong link. Can the admin post the right link into the chat box? For those, so 2 links has not been done, Mr. Barry. The link to the WhatsApp group has not been put. The link to getting the book right now, because all of you can get the book right now. We need them to post it on YouTube, Facebook, here on Zoom. So we need everybody to get to work. Where are the SA team, please? Right, Jamie, are you there? So we need to post the WhatsApp group link on here on Zoom, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on all platforms we're streaming. We also need to post the link for people who want to get the book right now. How many of you are getting the book right now? So once you make a donation of minimum $2, you will be able to download the book immediately. In fact, we did it in such a way that once you make the donation, it redirect you to download the book. Then the book is also sent to your email. Please take note that some of you, the book may go to your spam. So check your spam box. But we've done 2 ways. So once you click this link, you'll be able to just immediately make your donation, then immediately download the book. But we also did it in such a way that it doubles for in terms of it doubles to be able to help you in a big way you're just able to immediately move to the downloading of the book. Okay, so the group has been created. If they can make me an admin, I will appreciate.
Okay, sir.
then where is the link for those who want to buy the book right now?
Jamio, please put that link in there now. Link for the book purchase. Thank you, Jamio.
Okay. Okay. So I want to post, can we post the link for those who are on Facebook? So those of you on Facebook, those joining on Twitter, those joining on YouTube, we're trying to post the link. So wherever you're joining from, you can join the WhatsApp group. And we intend to, make sure that we keep growing the group, and keep growing the group. If one group gets filled up, we'll create a new group. And we have a massive army of volunteers who are working with us to make sure this becomes a success story. So all of you, I've heard people want to, one of my mentees came and said, I'm gathering all our your mentees. We want to buy you a car for your 40th birthday. I said, what's in my heart is not, I don't need anybody's car. I don't need anybody's, all I need um, is to make this food bank a reality, right? Donation towards this food bank and making it a reality is the most important thing to me right now. Okay, it's the most important thing to me right now. So please, let's play a role in making this happen. Can we post the link as well? The link to buying the book right now on Facebook, on WhatsApp. I want to see it across all the groups. And can we also all have it so that we can share it with our friends and say, hey, get this latest amazing book from Dr. Stephen. And all you need to do is make a donation and we're good to go. Okay. So where is the third flyer on the day for the what's it called? The book launching? Where
Yes,
is
sir.
that?
I think it's on the slide here, sir. You can scroll up a bit.
I have just two. It's not on this. Which slide?
On the slide.
It can't be on this slide because I'm not using a Google link for my slide, right? So it definitely can be, but I'm even asking for um I'm even asking for the one of Houston, right? So I'm even asking for the one of Houston. I can see in the group the one for Abuja. For Houston, they don't need to put the venue. They just can put my number for how people can apply to come. But they can put the date. It's an end of the year party. It's even supposed to be branded differently. It's end of the year party and book launch, all mixed together. Okay, so I want to find out how many of you have been able to get the book now, just to be sure we have all sorted. Someone say, can I donate by depositing money? I knew this question was going to happen. Remember Mr. Barry, I talked about them putting the account number as well.
Okay, we can put in the our account number right away, so you can pay into that account.
Where is the missions account number? I love things being separately done because I raised the question in the group and wanted to know where Joshua was. You needed to put a call to him. Okay, so in the group, because I just don't want numbers flying up and down. So join the WhatsApp group. Somebody is asking for Zelle. Okay, you know what? Join the WhatsApp group and ask all these questions, and we will do our best to provide these things in the WhatsApp group. So whether you want to use Zelle, whether you want to use whatever option you prefer. Kindly join the WhatsApp group. Can we post the link to the WhatsApp group again so everybody
Okay.
has? Sure, everybody
Okay.
has.
Okay.
Okay, I want to thank. I can see. By the way, how many of you have been able to get it? To be sure the thing works well. How many of you have made the donation and you're able to download the book? I just want to be sure it works well. Anyone? You're able to make your donation and you're able to download the book. Okay. Adela Jatai will say, yes, I've gotten the book. Thank you. Wow. I'm happy that it works well. Because all these tech things, you can just do it and you think everything is working perfectly and you'll be shocked that it doesn't work the way you want. Taufik says the site is not opening. I doubt that. Taufik, the link is again posted here. Use another browser because Adela just said he was able to do it. So, I'm sure maybe it's your, hosting or something. Okay. So, or you can scan the QR code. Adela, Taufik, you can scan the QR code, and we're good to go. So, good news. Tomorrow, Samuel also said he has gotten the book now. Thank you. Please, if you have made your donation and you've gotten the book, let me know. I want to be sure this thing works well. I can see Olajumoke made a $10 donation. She did more than $2. Thank you. Dio did $5 instead of $2. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've seen a lot of you
Thank you.
who chose to go above and beyond. More people did the normal. Thank you for that as well. But some of you went above and beyond. Thank you. Obaka Josiah Musa says site not opening. So for those of you seeing site not opening, do me a favor, change the browser or scan this QR code, right? In other words, to scan the QR code, just use your phone, go to the camera of your phone, then bring it closer to this QR code that you're seeing here. And that might work if you use that model, right? So if you use that model, it might work. I'm sure that model will work better for you. But hey, tomorrow, Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, is voting day. So, Mr. Barry, if you can do a flyer for it, voting day, so we can put it the time. You will moderate the process, Mr. Barry.
The voting day.
Yes, the voting day. Okay, so you will moderate the process. The voting day.
Can you just give me some more clue? Voting day is all about
to pick the chairman of the committee.
Okay.
Right. So what we need, basically, people can do 1 minute or 2 minute video who they are. They can also post their profile or manifesto. Right. We need a chairman to I want the volunteers to own this. I don't want this to be a GTExt employee or Civicta employee project. I want it to be project owned by mentees, people who learn from me, who have gotten value from me and things like that. Somebody's asking for the link for the WhatsApp group. So keep posting the link every 5 minutes. So let's do a bank of time. We're going to be doing the voting so that people who want to vote, who think they can lead every volunteer, because we need to leverage on all the volunteers and we all go to war practically to raise $2 million for this project. And I need a head of the committee who is not a staff, who believe in this vision, and will work with our team, our staff, to make this a reality. So the person must show that they have leadership skills, they've led projects before, they've been able to galvanize team and push teams for success. So if Olabode is there, can do it, but I'll give him the time now because I need a flyer. I want to push it as well. We're voting for the chair of the committee for the food bank. So it keeps track of donation, help us to motivate everybody towards donation, see to it that this becomes a reality. Yes. Okay. Let's go on. How many of you, like I said, wants to hear a bit more about our $200 million US project? If you want to hear about that, can you type, I'm interested, I'm interested. I'll just briefly talk about that, then come back again to, give a recap on the book.